Hello Buddhas, today we are going to be remaking one of my first videos, and that is Don't Give Away Your Power. Now, Buddhas, before we get started, I've got to let you know that there's a playlist down in the video description that you can click on in order to get 150 Buddha Billionaire videos back to back to help you binge watch them and accelerate your spiritual awakening. Now that you're back and done and watched all of those, you're going to think, but Alex, I already know not to give away my power. That's so easy. But I've learned so much more about that, and I want to share that with you. Our power is not necessarily how much strength we have or how much intention we have in something. Our power is our energy force, our existence itself. And recently, some people that I care about very deeply have been going through some things that are more esoteric and more spiritual than I normally share on this channel. And I'm going to leave it in a very vague sense on purpose, but going through those processes with them has been incredibly enlightening to me, because in those processes, sometimes even spiritually enlightened people will give away their power. And that is to say that we forget constantly, especially at a spiritual or more esoteric level where we're talking about things that are a little bit more, they're esoteric, is the best way to put it. But we forget that we create our reality. However complex and highfalutin and multidimensional you want to make it, we are the ascended masters that decided to come here because we were the only ones who are strong enough to do it. And all of spirit, every single aspect of spirit, is here with us. And there's good spirits and there's bad spirits, just like there's good people and there are bad people. But the definition of the good and the bad is up to you. And a lot of the time it seems like in the spiritual community that I'm noticing at the moment is that it can be very easy to say, that's a good spirit, that's a bad spirit. That area over there is scary, makes me feel bad, or that person did something to me at the spiritual level. And I don't think that any of these things are wrong. I think that they're all very accurate descriptions of the situations that people are going through. But if we agree that you create your reality, then what you're going through is just a bigger manifestation of an embedded fear or some sort of forgetfulness of your own power. And it seems real, and it is real, just as real as it would be if I was standing on the edge of a cliff and saying, I don't want to fall down. That's just as real as anything in this world, and that's just as real as anything in the spiritual world as well. It's not about diminishing any of the situations, because they are all accurate and they're all real and they are all up to the person who's experiencing them's interpretation. But what is so incredibly important here, and what I'm learning having observed some things and gone through some of this with people and talked to them with it, is that sometimes even incredibly powerful spiritual beings who are aware of their spirituality can forget that they are the gods who create their entire universe. They are the central pillar. Yes, we interact with other beings and people and stuff, but you, Buddhas, you are the single most powerful anything, whatever the heck you want to call it. I like to use the word being. You are the single most powerful being in your entire experience. And experience is bigger than existence, but because your existence could be temporary at a human level. But in your experience as a being who exists, period, you have now incarnated as a human. Well done, good job. You're doing the most difficult thing that's humanly imaginable. But you are still it. You are the most important person. You are the most powerful person. You are the most loving and loved person, because you are it. It all revolves around you. And yes, I can totally understand why it's easy to say that there's a bad spirit over there that did a bad thing. I get it. I very much get it, especially at a level where things can seem so much easier to go wrong, really, in the spirit world if something is not taken care of properly. But at the end of the day, you are the one creating any of the negativity that exists. Whether it was created 1,000 years ago, or just now, or is manifesting in different ways, it's you. So, when you remember how powerful you are, then you can look at that creation with love. And that can be very challenging and very scary, and I know because I've had to do it in some of the dream spaces that I've been in. But you can look at that with love and you can say, I love that, but I'm not really interested in continuing to explore it. Thank you very much. And that may sound so easy and not even relevant and that it would never happen and blah, 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 and I can totally understand a billion reasons why anyone might think that my opinion at the moment is wrong. But it comes down to, what do you believe? If you think about what you believe and you give anything or anyone or any being more power than you, then you need to think about why you're doing that. I'm not saying that it's wrong, because you need to go through that experience. But why could you possibly imagine that something outside of yourself is more powerful than yourself? I can't. It's impossible for me at this point. And that is even in agreeing that I could be going down the road and get run over by a car and this human form could die, and I would say that, yeah, but I asked for it. So, Buddhas, this has been a bit of a heavier one. But in summary, you are the single most powerful being in your existence. Experience? Not sure which one we're going to go with. But they're both relevant, and you are the single greatest being. You're more powerful than I am. You're more powerful than they are. You're more powerful than the lot. So, Buddhas. You are Buddhas. You just don't know it all yet. So I'm just going to keep calling you that. When you remember, you're going to come back and you're going to like this video, and then everything's going to be great. So, Buddhas, the most important thing at the end of the day, other than realizing that you're the most important being and most powerful thing in the universe, is to love yourself.